So integrating development teams into your existing development environment is never an easy task. It's never I purchase a company and then the next day they do everything the way that we do our business. But that is also not our objective when we are venturing into other fields. Now we did very early on in the World of Tanks success intensified our relationship with Big World because we needed to rely on them as we are operating World of Tanks as a service. It's not a game that we develop, release, and then move on to the next title. It's a game where hundreds of developers are focused on just one game that is already released, but that is changing all the time. Just recently we introduced new physics, new sound, which makes the game much more immersive, which changes the way that people see the game, that people feel the game, the way that people experience the game, in a way that is comparable to actually playing a completely new game. And when you look at a game as a service that you are operating over a decade, then yes, you cannot operate the same game that you operated 5 years ago. The game needs to evolve, and for that we needed to have a very strong, very integral relationship with our engine developer. Now, when we first needed an engine, we were a small Belarusian company. So we looked at the Big World engine, it met our needs, and we said, okay, we're going to use that, we're going to buy it, the engine, and we're going to build on that platform. Now, as we then had a significant amount of success, and Big World has had other customers as well, we wanted to make sure that we have the highest priority at our engine developer, so we bought them. That's how you can ensure that you are prioritized. Wargaming has obviously grown massively, not just in its own organization, but also through acquisition. We have acquired 2 studios in the United States with former Day One studio, which is now Wargaming Chicago, and Gas Powered Games, which is now Wargaming Seattle. We have development studios in Kiev, in St. Petersburg, in Minsk, in Australia, still the Big World team. We are working together with a number of developers, NGD Studios being one that just released together with us Master of Orion into Early Access 2. So just last week actually we introduced Early Access 2. Early Access 1 was launched a month before and is seeing already quite an enormous amount of interest and appreciation by the players. We actually exceeded the goals that we set internally on our expectations on the title. So we are very happy with the feedback that we are getting. We are still in early access. We are still working and early access is for us a phase where the development team and the community can work together on making the game better and actually addressing. It's still part of the development process. So once we're actually going to release a lot of the things that still need polishing, like the battle mode, the combat mode. These things will get further developed as the feedback from the community comes in through early access. There's actually a third team that does World of Tanks for mobile. So the franchise has now actually reached all potential devices that players would want to use to play World of Tanks. We are also now on PS4, which was recently released. We are now on Windows 10. We are obviously on Android and Google for mobile. So all platforms, players can now enjoy World of Tanks, which is great. But all of those platforms also have different audience expectations. Game that you play on your phone or on your tablet needs to have different features than a game that you play on your PC, which again needs to have different features than you need to have when you're sitting on your couch in front of your TV with your controller. So those are different audience expectations, but the underlying franchise, the underlying concept of slow-paced shooter on tanks is working on all of them, and it's exciting a lot of players on all 3 platform verticals. You were asking about the communication. How do studios in Chicago, in Minsk, and in Minsk, because both mobile and PC are developed in Minsk, how do they communicate? They communicate a lot. So we have a global integrated development system where we have a global head of development, Matthias, and he ensures that and his management team ensures that there's a vibrant collaboration between development teams, because it is very important that the direction of where the product is going is in the same direction. Now, there can be differences, and there should be differences, because the game plays different on a controller than it plays on a touch screen, than it plays on a mouse and keyboard. But those should be the ones that are the specificities that the studios that are working on these titles in Chicago and in Minsk, that they need to bring to the sauce that makes the dish that is World of Tanks.